What supplements should you be taking for HYROX? A few years ago, supplements was almost like a dirty word, but I think the whole industry has cleaned up a lot, and now there's quite a common acceptance for some basic supplements. I think it's very important for high intensity training such as HYROX. Supplements can help your performance, but they can also help your recovery. So without any further ado, let's get into the top list of supplements that you should be taking for HYROX. Okay, number one. Electrolytes. You will sweat a lot doing HYROX training, and you'll sweat a lot doing a HYROX race, okay? So whenever you're losing a lot of those salts, you really need to be replenishing them. And there's different ways of doing this. You know, you can take hydration salts when you wake up in the morning after a night's sleep. You can take them before you go to bed as well, so you're getting the hydration into your body while you sleep. You can take it before you go to training, so you're topping it up. You can take it during training, and I'd highly recommend that if you're doing training any more than 35-45 minutes, certainly be taking hydration salts throughout. And I quite often then take a lot of hydration salts and electrolytes after really high intensity training as well. For so many reasons, you know, the body's just losing a lot of potassium, sodium, magnesium, calcium, and you want to keep that going in because you're losing so much of it through sweat. So a really key important one, and make sure you're getting your hydration and electrolytes in. Number two, creatine, possibly one of the most well-studied supplements in the market, and one that, you know, 25 years ago, I remember my brother-in-law saying to me, oh, the opinion on creatine, the verdict is out, but I think now it's generally widely accepted as safe. Creatine can do a number of different things. It's generally believed that it can help you with your muscular endurance, okay? So keeping that topped up in your muscles is key. Seems to be after, you know, a couple of weeks that you get it up to the maximum levels, and then you want to keep it there. There can be some cramping at the start if you're not used to it and you take too heavy a dose, but all of the manufacturers have the directions on there. There's a lot of really good information on YouTube about creatine. It's also now starting to suggest that it can help with brain focus as well. So creatine certainly seems like a key one and good for recovery as well. Beetroot shots. This is one you might not have expected. So beetroot shots are really popular or becoming popular, especially in the running world. High concentrate beetroot shots. Unfortunately, just eating beetroots, while good, might not have the same effect, but the theory is that you take it a week before your race, okay, and you're getting a lot of nitrate into the bloodstream. Nitrate oxide is thought to help with blood flow, and then blood flow is thought to help with supplying oxygen blood to the muscles, and that's a theory that taking beetroot shots one a day a week before your race, whether it be HYROX or a marathon or something like that, can help with performance. So one that's not commonly known, but one that I think, yeah, the science backs it. I've tried it. I suppose I have got a PB recently and I took it then, so I'll keep continuing to take it. Number four, beta-alanine or beta-alanine. This is really considered to help with muscular endurance as well. Basically, beta-alanine has carnosine in it, and carnosine is accepted that it helps with the energy system to the muscles as well. So keeping those beta-alanine levels topped up. Again, it's similar to creatine. It can come in a powder form. You can put it in a shaker. Generally what I do is I've got my protein shake and I'm putting my creatine and beta-alanine in there in one go, taking it all down. There are some studies on timing of when to take protein, when to take carbs, when to take creatine. To be honest with you, maybe there's something to it, but in general, I think if you're getting it within that 24-hour window, that's good enough for me. I'm not going to go too far into the details. I'm happy enough with that and just trying to keep that consistent. Number five, protein. We are using the muscles a lot and breaking down the muscles a lot, and while we are not necessarily looking for hypertrophy in HYROX training, we're not looking to build muscle extensively, but we are wanting to certainly maintain the muscle and not lose any muscle mass, and possibly gain a little bit of muscle depending on your size, your muscle mass, that type of thing, how strong you are or not. Bottom line is most of us don't get enough fuel and carbs and calories in general but protein is one that can really dip down if you don't pay attention to it. And that's why protein shakes are so handy. So yes, of course, first of all, try and get everything in your diet from healthy food, supplements included, but it's not always easy. It can sometimes be quite expensive as well. So a good high quality protein to have nearby that you can take, you know, to keep your protein levels topped up is very good. I generally aim for about 200 odd grams of protein a day. So a couple of grams of protein for each kilogram of body weight, but there's different kind of math out there based on that. You can find out what works well for you, but certainly make sure you're getting enough protein in to help with maintaining this high demand HYROX training. Multivitamins and omegas. Okay, this is pretty much just the insurance policy. So a good multivitamin, in case you're somebody that just naturally is low in some type of vitamin, a really good multivitamin can help with that. And again, it's just that insurance policy to make sure those things are ticked over. It's easy to take, no problem there. And then omegas as well can really help with cardiovascular. They keep triglycerides down, which can be associated with heart disease and everything. So again, these things are probably not going to help your time in HYROX, but they're just for a more overall holistic, healthy approach. I think a multivitamin and good omegas should be the top of everyone's list and just taken on a daily basis. Salt tablets. Okay, again, a little bit of a different one. I learned about this one in David Goggins' book. Okay, so he mentioned that it was an older female lady marathon runner or ultra endurance marathon runner recommended taking, you know, a salt tablet every 30 minutes when doing these ultra marathons. I do take it because I suffer from cramps sometimes when I do the lunges and HYROX, and I think, you know, if I can take these salt tablets, not only can they help with heat stress, but you know, you're getting magnesium, calcium, potassium and sodium. That's all being lost through the amount of sweating that you're doing. So taking those to replace that while you're going along, I think in theory it does make sense. For me, they're just little small tablets. I chew on them quickly, take some water, generally after the rower, and you know, hopefully that's replacing a lot of those lost salts. Also, I'm based in Dubai, a very hot climate, so whenever we're training outdoors a lot, if we're going to be going more than, you know, we're generally going for about 60 minutes, so I'll have those and take one every, you know, 20-25 minutes just to keep that topped up. Cluster dextrin. Okay, this is one you might not heard of, but I learned about this with Nick Bear's BPN supplement company and the YouTube videos he was doing, and he actually was training for HYROX, so that's how I kind of first started watching him. But basically he was saying when he was doing marathon training and everything, he couldn't find a product that he could take or a gel that really was okay for his stomach. He was having cramping issues and gastrointestinal issues if he was taking these type of gels. Now, I have also tried some of these gels on the market, not his, other well-known ones that are out there, and they make me cramp up straight away. And then I look at the back of the pack and it's full of all these ingredients that you can't even pronounce. So the thing about cluster dextrin is it's a high density molecular kind of product, which basically means it can get through the system quite quickly and easily, all right, without causing as much cramping or gastrointestinal stress. It's basically carbs, okay? You just take it in water and stir it up, and it really helps if you've got a 9-to-5 job like I have as well. So if HYROX is just your hobby, if you're not a professional athlete and you don't have the benefit of being able to wake up, eat, then wait 3 hours to do your training session, this is a good way of being able to take something 30-45 minutes beforehand so that you're not training fasted, but also it's not something that needs 3 hours to digest in your stomach. It maybe provides about 30 grams per scoop, but that's cluster dextrin, and yeah, I think it's really good and simple. Okay, so that's some of my top recommended supplements. It's what I take, and you should maybe check it out yourself as well if you're not taking any of those on the list. I will say this is just my recommendations. I'm not giving health advice here anyway. I'm sure some people wouldn't take anything off that list. Other people will be taking things that I'm not taking and don't know about. And if you do have anything that you'd recommend, please let me know. Some of the things that didn't make my list and that I would generally avoid because I think they're a bit of a craze and a fad. Number one, pre-workout. I mean, if you ever read the ingredients in pre-workout, again, it's just full of a lot of stuff that you can't even pronounce, and that doesn't seem natural or normal to me. Whereas the best pre-workout, in my opinion, is, you know, an Americano coffee or a black coffee with a bit of banana and some honey. You know, I take a small bit of that sometimes before a big session and I'm good to go. I'm getting the caffeine, getting a little bit of carbs and a little bit of sweetness as well from the honey. So I would recommend that rather than pre-workouts. Listen, I'm sure there's some natural pre-workouts out there that are fine. It's just not really something I want to rely on, to have to take that every time to get, you know, motivated to do it. So just not for me, personal preference. Another thing is, should you take gels during the race? Listen, I didn't put this on my list because I'm still experimenting with this. Unfortunately, I suffer from stitches. So if I eat too soon before, you know, high intensity, it can happen. So I'm still trying to figure out how to get enough food in, but not to overdo it or underdo it that maybe leads to these stitches. I have taken gels in races and they didn't cause me too much trouble, but I've also taken gels in training and they were awful. So I'm still trying to figure it out. Sometimes they say if you're going to be finished the race in, you know, 60 minutes or less, you don't need a gel, and that's why you generally don't see the men in HYROX taking any gels during the races, because they're coming in under that 60-minute mark, and the women are pretty much there now as well. But then again, you will see someone like a Megan Jacoby who does take a gel after the rower. Now, she does say it's a mental thing as well, whether it actually helps and if that carb is getting to the benefit of her within that time frame, she's not sure, but in her head, if it works, she's going to take it. And I have heard some studies recently are suggesting that, yeah, anything from 35-40 minutes onward, we're starting to lose a lot. So if you can take something, that will help. I will caution it with HYROX is new, so there hasn't been enough studies on this. So yeah, if you're a marathon runner or cyclist or something like that, it's proven that taking these gels to replace lost carbs and energy can help maintain your performance, and that makes perfect sense. But the thing is, you're sitting on a bike or you're running at a steady state, so it's maybe easier to digest, whereas in HYROX you're running very fast and then you're jumping on burpees and then you're pushing and pulling, so could still be a bit too much for the stomach to handle. So it is a bit of trial and error. Certainly don't do it without trying it first, but I'm still experimenting. So if you have any recommended products, do let me know, and likewise, if I find anything, I'll mention it on here as well, maybe in another video. Okay, that's it. That's my top recommended supplements for HYROX, which I think, you know, have really helped me, and hopefully they might help you as well. Again, my personal preference opinion, if anybody does have anything else that's not on the list that they think is brilliant, please share it. Be delighted to hear it. And yeah, I hope this video helped you. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.